Woo! What's up, everybody? Come on, NQ. Give me 40 points. Come on, you ho. 40 point pop. 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 Get up there. Come on now. Don't roll over right here. Don't be a cuck. Don't do it. Oh, it's gonna do it to me. Oh, they're gonna get me, guys. God damn it. They're gonna get me. No! We want more. I gotta move my stop down. I'm gonna be a fucking idiot. I'm gonna be an idiot. I just need one more pop. I just need one more pop to the upside, guys. Give it to me, give it to me. Come on, hold right here. Can't we buy so the market makers buy? I've been in this trade for such an ungodly amount of time. I was so close to TP. I was so close. I just needed 20 more points. I just needed 683. I just needed 683 and I got absolutely cucked. 20 more points wasn't that much to ask for, guys. I'm salty. I am salty. Just do it. Just turn and burn. One last pop, and then you can drop back to 77.25. Just for the love of God, just pop up there. 29,683, give it to me. If you guys are just joining the stream and you see me yelling, it's because I'm in a position and I want it bad. I want it bad. I want my 20 extra points bad. I want 29,683. That's all I want. Get back up there, please, God. I've been sitting in this trade for so long and could have trimmed this out so many times or added to it. And I was like, no, just be patient. Just be patient. Believe in the process. You're going to get there. All my doubts about actually making it there are starting to come true. And now I'm fucking salty that I just gave away $1,000 in profit. Because NQ's going to cuck me. Because I was a dick for a tick. Why was I a dick for a tick, guys? Why? If it's gonna fucking spike me out here. I got my stop just under this spot. I'm gonna be so fucking salty, dude. Just go. Just go. Give me one last stab higher before you roll over. Please. I'm begging you. All I need is right here. I just need to retest the high day of an ES, and I guarantee you NQ will get me what I want. Guys are going to stop me. Motherfucker. What poor management. I'm annoyed with myself. I'm so annoyed right now. So annoyed right now. I literally just should have taken it off at 63 instead of waiting for that extra 20 points like a twat. But can't win them all, guys. If you're just joining, my apologies for being kind of a turd right now. I'm just really annoyed at my trade management in this moment. Oh, I wanted the nice even 15K, and instead I watched it go from 13 down to 8 because I'm an idiot. But it is what it is. So here we go. Anyway, green bars positive gamma, red bars negative gamma. No, they are just the negative net positions of market makers, long or short. So gamma, they contribute to it from the zero date perspective, but there is still a lot of other contracts across the entire future of the SPX options complex. Oh, son of a bitch. I think we're just going to be stuck into the afternoon here. I was really thinking we were going to get the upside drift, guys. So I was looking forward to that potential trim up there around 29,683 to get a nice even 15K out of this position. But it's looking like we're going to be magnetized towards this 77.25 area on SPX, so 77.45 on ES. Might end up being our chop to death home for the rest of the afternoon, unless we can kind of turn and burn and make one last pop higher. It's looking more like we've got this kind of decay path back down towards the morning strongest balance, if you want to call it that. It's going to be hard for me to get over that if that ended up being the high of the afternoon. And I could have just taken the 13 grand instead of getting half of that or less. But we'll see. I'm going to leave this open here for a little bit, see if we can't get that last little pop higher, or if we just are going to grind into the afternoon and grind and chop. I was really hoping we would just get that one last little pop on ES to set a new high for the day, and I'd likely be out. So maybe we still get it, right? Maybe we still get that last little bit of help from the market makers and they buy some futures if we can get shoved up a little bit further. I know you can't, my man. I am watching the ES structure because that's what I care about. I executed on NQ. You guys can see my position, see my entry, so go look at an NQ chart. But if you look at where I entered on NQ, you can probably do the math as to where I would have entered on ES. I trade the ES structure and I execute on NQ sometimes. Today seemed like a day ripe for that potential to catch more points. So I'm currently up about 70 points on NQ. I was up 100 and something. I just wanted 150 points because I was being a fucking idiot. But it is what it is. Just another pickup guy. You can do the math, my man. If you look at an ES chart, and then you go look at NQ and you look at the chart structure, pick your time frame, you're going to get it. But I'm showing you the ES chart because that is what I take my trades off of, is that structure. So if you're new, we'll get into the why here in just a minute and what you see on the chart and what it represents, okay? But basically what it boils down to is if I know that market makers are going to buy or sell in a place, I take a trade to take advantage of what they are going to do. So if we stick over this kind of 77.45-ish area on ES, right? The idea here would be that anything that we get bid up into, all of those red bars, market makers would start buying with me to give me some momentum and take me higher until they start selling again. And that structure is why I took this trade on NQ on the initial breakup. But because I did something stupid and had in my mind I wanted an even 150 points, I could have taken this exact same trade 3 different times now and been profitable on every single one. And instead, I'm still in my original entry. to like prove a point that I was going to hold it. And I actually was hoping this trade would be over by the time stream started so that I could just be done and focus on other things. But now I'm staring at this because I managed it so poorly, and was a dick for a tick. I could have literally just like taken one more trade and gotten to, 15. But it is what it is. Why did we keep pushing through so much large positive strikes? Is it due to OPEX? That's just normal market stuff, Vish. Reactions. No, I mean, I'll get into the shoulda, coulda, woulda because like it was literally something I told myself, you should just exit here. 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 And I didn't do it because I was like, it's getting close to stream start. Maybe I'll just leave this trade on so people can see. And like, that's the problem, is I made a decision based on something other than me, which is really stupid. But here we sit. So we win together, we lose together, and you guys get it all on camera for free. This is cheap entertainment. You get to watch a guy literally go from $15,000 or so to half of that out of greed and stupidity. So part of me actually hopes I get stopped out in a vicious fashion so then I can use this as a learning moment for everybody. So let's see if we get it. I'm going to be so pissed off, but it is what it is. I had a good day. I had a good morning. I made a lot of money on SPX, so I can be okay there. But this one's going to haunt me, giving up 60 points for no good reason. Oh my God, I'm so fucking annoyed, guys. Just stop me out. I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to look. Just fucking stop me out. Put me out of my misery. Please, God, do it. Do it. Did I find any? Rafi, do you even look at the screen? You found anything? What is on your screen right now? Do you see a running number? I'm not trying to be rude, but dude, did I find anything? I'm in something. Are you only listening? This is a visual medium, my dude. There is no YouTube for the blind, right? It's called the radio. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm like, what do you mean? Look at the counter. Like that's the whole thing, guys, is what I don't want and what is very much possible this afternoon, and this is why I'm kind of annoyed with myself for not taking the profit higher up there, is that if we aren't sustaining that momentum into the afternoon, we're just going to come right back to the spot we're heading towards, right? So if we get under this spot, then we have like more potential to sell further, even if I still think we end up at the same place. So just like yesterday when I drew the squiggly line before stream ended, and I said, hey, I don't think we're going anywhere. I think we're going to go straight sideways. What did we do? Right? I know you guys were on with Jake for the power hour, and there's literally nothing to do, right? Like there weren't any really great clean trades. It was just choppy grind sideways. Nothing happened. There was a huge potential for that this afternoon, and that's why I'm pissed I didn't just fucking trim when we got up there, because any rejection up there, we're just going to come back to the same place. So if I really wanted to take this trade again, I could take it right now. But the risk now is that because we are at this place, if we get selling a little bit more, then it becomes the ceiling for the afternoon. We still grind and chop against it, but it opens the door to selling, which I didn't really want to do, right? So you either long from this again, thinking we're going to get bid up and that we're going to charm up and we're just going to get this nice drift a little bit higher, right? But it's the same thing as yesterday. If there's not a lot of active people doing it and they just blew their wad in that last 15-minute candle to get us up there, then we're just going to sit here, right? So, nah. AXP, thanks for joining, man. No, I trade NQ all the time. Like, I'll trade MNQ if I already executed other trades. ES is always the structure, guys. I will execute on NQ because it's more volatile and I can capture 150, 200 points if ES makes the move I think it's going to make. Why would I not capture more points? If I'm going to trade futures, futures is all about the video game. It is all about catching points. It is easier to collect more points on NQ than it is on ES. So it's just a numbers game to me. I will always trade NQ off of this structure if I can. But on other days where it is way more volatile and things are disconnected slightly, I'm going to be a little more patient, and then I'll just stick to the easy thing, right? And if there's only a 10-point range for me on ES, I'll just capture that more often than not, right? I don't want to get all wiki crazy on NQ. I'll just live with my 10 points and take my $1,500 on ES and walk away. But when I saw the potential for this kind of blast off move higher, I wanted to participate on NQ. The fact I could have participated in this trade literally 1, 2, at least 3 different times is where I'm just getting really frustrated with myself. I should have just taken the profit. And if you're just joining, I've already ranted about why I didn't just take my profit instead of waiting for an extra 20 points to get a nice and even 15K. But hopefully we still get that move. If we can just get this little pop higher over 55, then I'll be happy. But if we reject right here and we just get stuck at 45, then yeah, I'm going to be crappy about it. But it is what it is. Is it a long or a short? If it's green and we've been moving up for the last how long? It's a long, my man. I mean, yeah, I said it at the start of the stream. I'm actually kind of frustrated because I've been sitting in this trade for so long. And I wanted it over before the stream so I could just be like, hey, guys, let's talk about the morning and all this fun stuff. You know, so I would have rather been out in the fact that I was 20 points from my target. It was like, I preach dynamic R and all this stuff all the time, and here I am just like being horny for a nice and even 15K. And now I'm, you know, I was at 13. Now I'm at 78. But I just know if I sit in this a little bit longer and we get a bid, the rapidity of the move higher should be quick. But I also thought in the pre-market, the potential, if we didn't get over where I think we needed to get over, is just going to point us right back to this spot. So that's why I'm kind of like, ugh, you know, it is what it is. I would love a 1 minute candle. I just want 683. I don't need anything else. Just give me 683 and I'll be happy. Is your stop and yeah, I mean, I'm going to get at least 50 points out of this. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. If I can just be happy with at least 50 points, that's somebody else's like best ever trade, right? I know a lot of people that trade NQ have a hard time when they see somebody else catching 100 points, 200 points, 150 points, 300 points. You can't get those moves if you can't, you know, handle the heat. So I'm going to at least get part of my nut here. I'm going to make sure I get my piece of the pie, whatever you want to say. But I also know structurally what invalidates this trade. So I'm in this trade. It's still valid from a structural standpoint, right? If we come back and we just oscillate around this 45 area on ES into the afternoon and get stuck under it, I'll be less enthused. But the structure coming in on the day was basically saying if you don't get up and over this kind of spot that we have the arrows pointing towards or get up closer to it into the afternoon, the idea that you'll get kind of pulled back down kind of towards where we are right now was the base case. So I said it just a few minutes ago. If you guys are just joining yesterday's stream, if you didn't see it, or if you were here, what we talked about yesterday was, given where we were, there was this potential to maybe sell aggressively, right? But the odds, the probabilities, the higher percentage outcome was that we just kind of ranged around in about a 10-point fashion into the close. And obviously, guys, when I say these things and then they come true, right? You guys saw my little squiggly line on the trade review yesterday. You guys here on stream saw me draw that line live, right? I drew that and I said, this is what I actually think happens. If I wanted to trade on, it would be to the downside, right? So I put that trade on. I didn't really have a lot of conviction. I think I even said it on stream. This is a bad trade. Like, it could happen, but the odds are so against it. Thankfully, I only took a 5-point loss on that MNQ trade. And then we just chopped sideways. We literally just oscillated straight sideways. And then inside of the last 5 minutes did we get a pullback. But those last 10 minutes of the market, so many things are happening. People are taking profit. People are exiting at a loss. They're placing orders for the next day, the next week. There's so much big money flying around inside that last 10 minutes. The only reason we don't generally move more is because of the very positioning you see on your screen, right? Things are kind of contained. But inside that last 10 minutes, it's a crapshoot. So I take the fact that we literally chopped sideways in a 10-point range for 3.5 hours yesterday as, kind of, good job. And today, that is kind of, again, the base case here. We have attempted to move higher. We've tried to climb the mountain. We know where a ceiling is. So we're either going to finish up against that ceiling, or we're just going to revert back and grind around this particular area with an outside shot of falling back further. I just don't particularly see that part. I'm just trying to ride out the trade that I did get in, and unfortunately just didn't manage the best. But the benefit here is that I didn't manage it the best, but no matter what, I'm still going to finish with a nice profit. It's just not the profit I was targeting. So I'm okay with that. I'm just a little annoyed with this arbitrary, I want an extra 20 points. Like, what an idiot, because that extra 20 points of greed cost me $7,000. So potentially $7,000. We could still get it. We're sitting in this trade, but, right, here we are. Oh, annoyed. It's going to be hard for me to shake this feeling. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so annoyed with myself. When you let factors other than the trade affect your trade, guys, that's a sign that you were not fully in control of your brain, right? It shouldn't matter that I'm streaming and that I want it to be over. I want it to be over by the time stream starts, right? I want to be able to focus on the stream and not worry about the trade. And then I got greedy. I was like, it's only 20 points. I 100% should have just exited so I didn't have to think about this trade while I'm trying to talk about other stuff, because now I'm basically just like waiting to get stopped out. And all I can think about is, you fucking moron, it was 20 points. What did the extra $2,000 mean to you? Why was that so important? And now I'm just sitting in that. I'm wallowing would probably be the better word. It doesn't help that it's like thunderstorming and gray and rainy, and I've been listening to Beach House. Oh, I love Beach House though. It's a vibe. Is the group class still happening tonight? I'd like to do it when the discount becomes active for VS3D. The group class is active tonight. We actually had a few late registrants, so now I'll be happy to do it. I do think we'll probably do another one just a little bit farther out this time. So, and I think we'll do it on a weekend. For whatever reason, everybody the last time I did a vote said like, yeah, do it during the week, weekday, 8 p.m. or later is great. And now I've got a bunch of people saying, oh, I can't make it. Can't you do the weekend? So I don't know what you guys want from me, I don't know how to pull you, because you guys answer it one way and then you'll complain and say, no, do the other thing. So I'm happy to do it whenever, guys, but I'm just going to spread this one out a little bit. I've actually had more people sign up for one-on-ones and stuff. So then I have to be like, all right, how much time do I have? My kids are about to start school. I got my day job. I've got, I want to do stuff for myself. So not to complain to you guys. I'm happy that people want support and they want to, have me be the person to guide them. But I've got to find a happy balance. But yeah, when it will be live. So here's the deal on VS3D. Unfortunately, Dan, who runs that platform, is super swamped, kind of doing some developing stuff on improving the platform. And I have now been kind of pushed off to somebody else there to make sure that we get it over the finish line. So I promise it's coming. I'm trying to make sure that it happens as quickly as I can, but it's out of my hands, right? So when there's news, there will be news. And I can guarantee you it's coming. But the good thing is if you are currently on the platform, the only question I have out to them is like, hey, if somebody's already on it and they want to use the discount code, can we like prorate it somehow? Or just like apply it to the next month. So we'll find out what happens. But just to be safe, let's just say expect it to be like a month from now, and then anything before then is a surprise, right? Happy surprise. But that's the most I can say about it right now. It's one of those things where it's not up to me, right? Like it's their baby and they're doing what they're doing on their side with the platform. So yeah, there's a huge part of me that would like on another day, because I'm 50 points in profit, I could literally just like double down here and average in and be like, I'm going to get my 15K on the next pop higher. But because of the structure that I see, I don't trust that 15 points higher is going to come, right? I'm a little more cautious in that we're just going to grind and chop to death right here. So I don't really want to do that degen thing. So I'm not going to. I'm going to try to be smart. I have not really gone through it, but the base case is if you look at the initial break up over this level, just stop me out. Please, God, put me out of my misery. Just do it. Do it. Get me. Get me. Stop me out.
Stop filled.
I am equal parts happy and sad about this situation. Let me do something here a second, guys. Oh, that one's going to piss me off. I'm going to be so mad about this for the whole rest of the day. For the whole rest of the day, I'm going to be so fucking crabby. Just give me a second, guys. I made $5,000, but I'm upset about it. Trying to not be a crabby fuck on stream, but I'm going to be a crabby asshole on stream. Oh my God. I can't shake that one, guys. I sat in that trade for so fucking long. That makes me so angry. Not to leave you in silence, that is literally the stupidest fucking thing that could have happened. I don't know why Star Wars is in my head. Structure can push us lower. The problem is now like it's hard for me to see anything but chop right here. But if we did go lower, there's certainly back towards this key balance. So it's like I could do the real degen thing and be like, hey, let's just fucking short it and risk 50 points. But then it's going to potentially go back the other way, and then we hold it, and then we move higher, and yada yada. Oh, guys, I'm so disappointed in myself. Let's make sure. Fuck me. All right, I'm going to compose myself here and not be upset. So let's talk through it. I just made $5,000, but I'm a little annoyed about it. So I'm trying to find a way to talk about this without getting too frustrated about it. So basically, I went long on this breakout right here. So if you guys want to know why I took this trade, basically we did the hard work of breaking above this, and I was looking for this move. Okay. And we pretty much got it on the first try. And I said, as long as we hold over here, we should go get it again. And I just sat in that NQ trade. I experienced zero drawdown, even though ES kind of gave some back. So I could have even added to that move on kind of the break and retest idea. And then I could have taken profit right here on NQ. That was higher than anything I had on the first run on ES, actually. And I didn't take it because I wanted 20 extra points. So instead of making $15,000 that I wanted to make, I wasn't happy with $13,000, and I ended up with 5. And that's just how it goes. But the fact that in my mind, I had to actively think about, I should get out of this right now, but this would be a fun one to catch on stream. I want to be done with this trade before stream. I should just take the profit. But I thought to myself, no, leave it on for stream. None of you guys give 2 shits about what goes in my bank account, truly. So why the fuck did I decide to not take profit just to show you guys that trade? This is the thing that's new to me about streaming. There's been a lot of times where I could just put a trade on for you guys just to be like, fuck it, look at the structure. But I don't, because I wouldn't take it for me. So today is a day where I'm going to hold this and I'm going to have to think about it and be upset, because the exact reason why I should have taken profit, that I told myself I should take that profit, just cost me $8,000 on like the cleanest exit of the day on NQ for that very trade. So you can see probably why I'm super salty. Appreciate you guys. Sorry, I'm just really annoyed because the whole risk of not continuing to the upside there, getting to where you knew if we gave anything back and ran out of steam, we'd come right back to here, and if we fell under this, we'd just grind and chop, but the potential would be the bottom of the range back towards the morning balance. Fucking A. You know? It's just one of those days for me, and I don't love that feeling. Yes, I was copy trading. So 5 accounts, 1 mini per account. I almost averaged in on this pullback and hold of this kind of key balance area before this last run up, because NQ was holding stronger than ES was in that moment. And I didn't. And I would have hit my 15K and then some had that happened, obviously. So, yeah. But this is the thing, guys. Trading is a journey. Even when you mostly think you've got it figured out, there's always a day and always a trade where you will look back on it and say, I can be better. And I can be better. So the lesson there for me is to listen to myself and not let external factors factor into that. Because as much as I love you guys and appreciate you turning in and wanting to learn, kind of quite frankly, who fucking cares if I show you a trade? Because you're not managing that trade and you don't spend my money when it's in my bank account. So why? Yeah. Anyway, I really don't want to harp on this. Ugh. Yeah. It's hard to take like a lesson from a winner, right? Like I'm trying to be respectful. Somebody else would kill for $5,000 on 50 points or whatever it was, but I would have liked 13,000 instead of 5. Would I have liked 15 more than 13? Sure, but that was just stupid. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, the worst part is I'm now stuck on a stream in front of the charts, trying to talk myself out of shorting this down to 77.20. Is it buffering? That sucks. I hope it's not. The funny part is I have that group class tonight, so now I'm gonna have to be chipper for the group class. Yeah, yep. The group class is still happening, Luvia. So if you guys haven't signed up yet, you still have time. So go nuts. We will be there tonight, regardless. I'm excited to get into it. I've kind of reformatted the group class. I'm really excited to get into that and kind of show people the whole Gamma process and what that shapes up to be. I've got some really cool take-home material, so I'm not going to try to sell you guys on anything here, but yeah, if you guys did sign up and you're in the stream, I look forward to seeing you there. And yeah, we will see you there. We will get things rolling. We will get you started on your Gamma journey. But if you guys are here, obviously, we are just going to focus on today and this trade and go from there. So let me see. Am I buffering, guys? To me, I look good, but I just want to make sure, because whenever anybody says that, I get a little thrown off. I just want to make sure that things are actually doing what they're doing. But maybe I've got too much stuff running on the device, as they say. All right. So there we have that. Everybody's good? All right. So guys, again, this afternoon, now the story becomes from the pre-market. This was, obviously you can still see these things from the pre-market structure. What we were kind of pointed at, if we didn't go higher and if we didn't go lower, we were going to kind of point up to this area if we got this strike covered, right? But now that we're under it, now that becomes kind of telling us another story, right? If we're not over this, we're probably pointing here. And if we're not over this, we might get pointed down. But everything says if we're in the vicinity of this strike, we're probably going to just do a bunch of this stuff into the close. So I drew that yellow line yesterday on stream. If you guys were here, you knew that's exactly what we did, right? What did yesterday look like after the stream was over? My stream time, I think I actually went longer yesterday, ended right about here, and I drew that squiggly line, and we literally did this. And in the last 5 minutes, we got a little spike down. But when you see these things and you know there's a behavior associated to them, there's like a probability, right? Is it higher or lower probability that we finish sideways or that we like magically break back up out of here? Could we do it? 100% we could. I am just, now that I'm out of that long trade and I got my piece, it's like really hard for me to want to long again, knowing that this is resistance and this is resistance. And unless I get up and over this somehow, I'm likelier to just stick around here. And there's no real anything like selling me down through this range. So could I drop down here? Sure, but I'm kind of sitting close to a giant magnet right now. So I have a really hard time thinking that we just completely fall off the face of the earth or something, unless something bigger happens, right? So if something bigger happens, I could be convinced, right? Maybe you could convince me that there's some bigger selling pressure that's going to shove us way lower. But I just feel like right now we're just going to kind of get pushed and pulled around this kind of big anchor position here. So everybody who's trying to short is going to get wrecked. Everybody who's trying to long is probably going to have to scalp. Unless the broader market does something that says like, nope, we're going to do this. Like we're going to go somewhere. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we do get bought back up. Maybe NQ leads us to the promised land, right? And the market bids us up somehow and we get going. But right now I'm choosing to be on hands because I just see the potential to do a whole lot of nothing, right? And it's hard for me to be excited about making another breakout attempt when we couldn't hold up there. This is our second time. We fell through it. Now everything above that position tells me it should be resistance. So I'm just going to choose to believe that and see what happens. So, yep, that's me. That is what I think is going to happen. So unfortunately, that's me kind of telling you I would expect boredom for this afternoon, unless the actual market shows up and says, no, we're going somewhere, right? And forces market makers to take the opposite approach from whatever they're currently doing. And right now, market makers are selling futures passively and are not actively helping any particular move, right? They are, in fact, resisting moves at the moment. So until the market moves us in such a way that they have to change that reaction, we're effectively more than likely going to be kind of stuck in maybe a 10-point range. I'm trying to see what the straddle is, if it's moving much. It doesn't look like it's moving much. I think we're still kind of in this 14 to 15 point straddle. So if we move higher and break over this 45 ES again and we get some juice, we could absolutely still make that run up. But yeah. Oh, as far as the rest of the week goes, we'll have to see how the positioning shifts, right? Like it looked one way coming in and now it's a little bit more of a question mark, right? So I am less bearish at this point. I think the news from the Treasury today kind of opened the door. In a way, I think it isn't long-term bullish. I think short-term it is. It takes some pressure off of yields, which is always good for equities. I don't think it's going to help inflation in the long term, but the market got kind of a little shot in the arm today off the back of that Treasury decision to pump liquidity into the market and deal with the long end on bonds. Like I said, I for one am not super bullish on that. I think that was actually a really dumb idea, but I think it shows how concerned they are about the broader market and that what the market is doing is not good for them. So they're going to try to cover their ass a little bit and see how much longer they can string us all along on this idea that AI growth and build out is the economy. And hope to God that they don't do anything with rates and inflation. But I hate to break it to people, but inflation is stuck and it's not going anywhere. It's called stagflation, and everything they're doing is just going to prolong that. So they're hoping for some kind of a Goldilocks situation that I personally am just very pessimistic about proving out. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But short term, that is bullish. So I think you will see probably IWM, kind of the Russell, probably see more benefit. Some hyperscalers might see a little extra pep in their step. Yeah, I don't know. But we'll see how things shake out. Plus, we got OPEX on Friday, right? So depending on how things shift in light of that news, where people are placing their bets, how they're placing their hedges, what hedges do they close out, what do they add into, will kind of show you the shape of what's to come in the market and like where are people placing their bets? Are they placing bearish bets? Are they actually keeping their hedges on thinking we're not out of the woods yet? What do those positions look like? Do we get the open door to the upside, or do they sell the upside, keeping a lid on it so that they can buy cheaper protection on their hedges? Those are all things you kind of have to keep in mind, right? And it's just kind of one of those things. It's going to be very wait and see for me personally. So we will reevaluate after the close today and see what the positions look like for the rest of the week. But, we just had VIX expire. So kind of how that impacts the futures market for volatility And, the indexes will be something that we'll have to watch. But it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? It opens some risk in the market in one sense, and then kind of takes this supportive floor that was there out. So if people are hedged in a way that they're kind of saying, I don't trust this, I want protection on for the next month, for the next 2 months, every bit of protection they're buying to the downside starts showing up as these red bars, right? So as you see those things, that just means that that's potential tinder, right? So if we start selling, we could really start selling, that whole idea. So something to think about. Okay. I don't know, guys. Yeah, this idea of like, if you know that's resistance overhead and you want to try to short down to this range here, this 77.20, 25 area on ES, could be valid. But again, unless it's like real selling pressure, I have this feeling we're just going to be kind of stuck up against this 77.45 area on ES. But if we do get some selling, maybe they can shove us back down and we get stuck closer to that 77.20. I don't know. I have a hard time seeing it. I think now that we're close to this position, unless somebody actually comes to do the dirty work and get us down there, I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I think it's much ado about nothing. I just can't get my shit straight, guys. I'm still so pissed off about that trade. In the back of my mind, I should let it go. I'm normally pretty good, but today, when you lose more on a trade that you were up in profit than you actually take home, it's just hard to not be upset about that, right? Even for me. I don't mismanage trades very often. So to absolutely fuck one like that is kind of hard. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing. I'm crying on the inside. Yeah, that is true. It's like the one that got away. Okay, let me try to catch up in the chat here. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to talk about that anymore. The trade is over. I can't do anything about it now. So, let's see. How many do I have in the class now? I think there's like 12. I honestly, guys, like I was going to cancel it and just like push it out further because I don't want to do that many of them. And this is not, I don't want to talk about this on stream that often, right? Like the point of this stream is to be here for free and talk to you guys about trading and psychology. And today is a great example how to bounce back from a poorly managed trade. But for the people that are asking, I know a lot of you from these streams have attended those or wanted to attend one, or maybe new to the stream and want to learn more about how to call these moves and see these things and read this map, right? But I would like to do less of those classes and have more people attend so that any future classes, everybody's on the same page, right? No one's playing catch up necessarily. We can get more people covered at once and then be ready for the next one that gets more advanced and blah, blah, blah. So it is basic, but it's something you can digest and know. Yes, to Terrible Trading's question, it is like a first timer's class, but what it is it's giving you enough information to basically say whatever you choose to use, whether you use your broker and your option chain, right? Or you want to build something yourself with Claude, or you pay for a service already and you want to know how to leverage it better. You can start using Gamma or Orderflow, whatever you want to say, in your trading. That is the goal of that class. And there's material that I send you with so that you don't have to take another one, right? You've got everything that you need to get your journey started. And if you want to learn more, then you just keep showing up to these streams for free. At that point, you've got a leg up, right? Like you have more information. But the point of this stream is to not talk about those classes and to keep this entry level enough so that somebody looking at the screen can say like, okay, green bars mean price should slow down. Red bars mean price can speed up. If I deploy my risk in those areas and I see my areas of opportunity, what can I take advantage of to execute a trade? Like that is the point. So to that end, that's what we're going to do here today. So at this point, I know we just kind of talked about it. We drew these arrows on the screen. Now that we're under this kind of big green bar, it's more resistant to price moving higher. There's going to need to be more buying in the market consistently to get back over that hump, because everything now is pointing us down. Everything is selling futures. Market makers are now all selling futures as we move higher. The only thing that changes that equation is if we get on the other side of these positions. And basically it's like the mountain that we were over the other side of, we now started coming back on the other end of it, right? We went from being up the mountain and over the peak and looking at the other side and maybe picking up some speed, and now we're on the other side of the mountain and we're running out of daylight and we need some extra energy to get back up over that mountaintop. So that energy is going to have to come from the rest of the market. Okay, market makers are selling futures right now. So if we know that, what kind of a trade do we want to take? Is it attractive to us to long into a bunch of selling pressure? Probably not, right? But if we also know they're buying futures below us, do we really want to short? And if we short, what are we shorting to? Knowing that all it takes is time passing, and we're probably going to just get stuck to this big green bar, right? Because the further we sell, the more market makers around me are buying futures to slow down that selling. There's no real juice to the downside. This is not an attractive downside day unless we get where? Way down here, right? Then maybe that accelerates you. But all of this, if you guys love the arrows, if you're not too new here, unless you're under something, you're over it. So where does it kind of point you to? So right now, we're sticking pretty close to this big magnetic spot, because the further we sell, the more they buy. The further we sell, the more they buy. Nothing's really accelerating the selling. Maybe we can sell down to here, but right now, odds are we just do a lot of what we're doing. We're just literally sitting right up against the place that we can't quite escape from, right? And it is what it is. But if you were to go short, you could give yourself a 10-point stop on ES and target the bottom of that range around 77.20 and think we kind of finished the day where we finished yesterday, right? Like kind of flat. But I'm kind of more in a wait and see mindset now, because I already took that trade and I don't care to enter it again. The most attractive trade for me was earlier based on the conditions at that time, and now the conditions have changed and I'm not going to put risk on for something that is less attractive to me, right? I don't like buying into a bunch of selling, especially when I know there's only so much time left on the day. So the class tonight, Terrible Trading, is 1 hour and 15 minutes. There will be some Q&A at the very end for a little bit, but most of it is just me going over the material, sending you home with some specific examples and things that you can use, whether you work with me again or not. If you ever want to be a one-on-one mentor kind of relationship, you can make that decision based off of that workbook. If you just want to do it on your own and kind of watch these streams, you have something to work from to see if you're getting it or not, and reinforcing good habits and things like that. But that is what it covers. And it is recorded, so I'll send it to you guys when it's done. But yeah. Do I trade 150Ks? I don't, Claris. I kind of stick in the 50Ks. That's like my sweet spot. There are times where I probably should do the bigger accounts just to size up on risk, but I tend to get the buffer on the 50Ks and have a good buffer. And if I want to put risk on and be more aggressive on a single account, then I'll just do that. But I know that like Jake likes those 150Ks because he wants the bigger risk up front. It allows him to shoot a couple 2K, 3K losses. It's just a different risk to reward profile. But from a prop trading standpoint, yeah, if you want to trade bigger size and take bigger risk, then those 150Ks can do that for you. It's 8 p.m. Central, Terrible, but it is recorded, like I said. So if you can't attend in person, like there's somebody who 10 p.m. or 8 p.m. tonight Central would be like 3 a.m. their time. And somebody said they were going to wake up for that, which amazing for them. I don't think I could do that, but yeah. Let's see. Happens to the goat as well. All good. Don't be upset. Don't need to push it because of stream. I appreciate that. And I'm not the goat. I'm just a guy, right? Like, I'm pretty consistent. I have a strat. I trade the strat. The strat worked. But the management of the trade was the poor thing. And that was all on me. That had nothing to do with the system. It had nothing to do with anything that I was looking at. It was just me not listening to myself. And that is probably the most frustrating thing. And thankfully, it's just a good learning opportunity for you guys, right? Like, I'm sharing it with you. If you guys go back and watch the start of the stream, you can watch me lose $8,000 of profit and settle for $5,000. So I know it seems stupid to complain about, like, I'm trying to be conscious of the fact that some of you have never made $5,000 in a trade. And I'm sorry. But this is like a really great learning opportunity for watching someone who is profitable and can make that much still be upset about it somehow because I managed something poorly. I let external factors factor into my trade management, which is like such a big no-no. And I'm very disappointed in myself that did happen. So I'm trying to not let that get to me. And it is what it is. So, yeah. With that being said, it looks like we might get a little help if we break below this spot. If we don't break below the 77.30 on ES, I don't know that we go test 20. I think this could just kind of turn and burn back the other direction, right back towards 77.45. That is a highly likely outcome at this point. So something I would certainly be watching for if we don't actually sell through the 77.30 strike. Because the reason for that rationale is market makers right now, because we're above that price, are currently buying there. They're buying futures as long as we stay over that. If we move through this strike, they are suddenly going to start selling futures that they otherwise would have been buying. So that thesis of coming down here that we talked about rests on the fact that you actually move through this. So when I said you could short this and the risk to reward would be kind of like 10 points, right? And you'd be targeting something like this. The odds of you selling through this are less likely, but at least getting kind of down into this area. It's like a 2R trade. It's not the worst thing in the world. It just was less attractive to me because I would have to see that actually happen. So if you wanted to take your bet, that's where I'm saying you could take that bet. You could have taken it on tighter risk. You can say, okay, this is a lower high. I'm going to enter it here on, 3 or 4 points instead. And then that's a bigger R to R trade, right? That's a 5R trade. If you want to trade it that way, that was probably your best short opportunity of the afternoon. But again, the closer we are to this as we move into the close, the more likely we are to finish closer to that one than this one down here. So you'll just have to see how that works out. It would be fun to see the continuation lower. So we'll see what we get. The new gamma indicator on the right is actually pretty cool. I know it's not brand new, but still. Yeah, all that is, if you guys want to know, it's like, I would call it or the way that I developed it and called it something is I call it like a speed rail. So what that represents is kind of this idea of how quickly price can move relative to these positions. So the more concentrated green it is, the slower you'll go, the closer you go, right? It's just kind of the idea of these bars, but looking at it like on a moving kind of like rail perspective, right? So from that standpoint, you'd be looking at this going, okay, as we move lower, it'll be harder to move through this area, even though there's all this red down here, okay? And this way you don't necessarily think of just the positions and what each one means, but overall, what do they mean in the overall framework of what you're looking at, right? And that's kind of the big thing here. So as we move lower, it gets harder to move lower. It gets slower. The only areas that you can move a little quicker are these like thinner spots, right? But because it's overall thicker here and thicker here, you don't really pick up speed until things get into this way thinner area. So it's just representing to you the idea of speed. How quickly can I move relative to what I know is sitting there? So that's all that is. Yeah, if you need a Pine script for TradingView to get this type of indicator on your screen, I can share that with you. But the thing to remember is if you don't have data, if you don't pay for the data from a VS3D, from options depth, from quant data, from whatever service you are using, it's not going to help you, right? Because it doesn't show you anything. You have to actually have something to put in there to make the indicator show up on the screen. And if you don't, then nothing's going to show for you, right? So just something to think about. All right, let me put a record on in the background so it's not so damn quiet in here and I don't have to listen to myself. So just 2 seconds. Oh, guys, my God. Will you talk about where's the best place to ask questions about what you post in your Discord channel? Like, are you in the Discord, Randy? Because if you're in the Discord, you can just ask me there. Yeah, just ask me in the Discord. I don't want to gum up YouTube for people who don't know what we're talking about. I don't think it's fair to them. So just shoot me a message or DM me in the Discord. Adam, I talked about this earlier. I don't. The guy who runs VS3D is super busy doing some like development with the platform and improving it. So he pushed me off onto one of the other partners there to make sure we get that over the finish line. And they just have a couple things that we have to agree to. But I'm on their timeline, right? Like I don't have anything to share until it's official. So when I do, I'll let you guys know. The one question I have as a takeaway from today is if somebody's already a member there and they want to use the code when it becomes available, can it be prorated or something? So we'll ask about that. Yeah, just hit me in the trading floor, Randy, or shoot me a DM. You can't type in my channel because it's just my channel in the Discord, right? That's how most of them work. They're locked down so that it doesn't get gummed up with other stuff. So if you have a question for me, just hit me up in the trading floor. Like I said, shoot me a DM on Discord. No problem, Adam. Thank you for asking. All right, guys, I feel a little better. Yeah, we're kind of seeing this hold of this spot here on ES. Like I said, if you're not under it, you're over it. So until we actually definitively break down into or through that position, we're not going to pick up any speed, right? We're not going to sell aggressively because everything below that spot is buying. So this reinforces this idea that we're just going to keep coming back towards this kind of 45-40 strike unless the market forces that reaction to go the other way. So as we chop here over this position on ES, I don't see a big selling point about being short. And I also think if I was going long, I'm going long to a known resistance. So this is like, if I was doing this, I'm either shorting, looking for that move to the range low where I know there's some support down there, but I also know why that trade isn't super attractive to me, right? And then if I'm going long, I'm treating it more like a scalp. And if it goes and somehow we break out over that resistance again, then I've got a runner or something, right? But right now, it's really hard for me to think that we don't kind of just get magnetized towards this kind of 77.45 area on ES. That's my base case, but again, all we're doing here is observing, right? If the market does something with its own forces, the people that are buying and selling do more than what the market makers are holding from the futures standpoint, then we move somewhere else. But that's what I would say. Did we not get any continuation because the longs above were suppressing and then being in the shorts pushed us back down to 45? Bingo. If you don't have enough to get stuck up there, right, and work into those positions, and then you get some selling and you get sold into those positions where market makers have to sell instead of buy, That's why we move through those areas with a little more speed, right? Like, just look at the chart. I know there's a lot of shit on here, so we'll get rid of it. But if I go back and I look at more of the pre-market positioning only, okay? It took us more work. Just really think about this for a minute. If this is selling and it's a big position, which means a lot of futures are being sold, we reject it. We reject it. We also know that down here, market makers were waiting to buy in pretty big size. Why did we hold there? If you miss this rejection and you wanted to take a long on the day, there's your best shot. But you're targeting here. Once, twice, 3 rejections. Then we kind of started holding a little bit better into the London close, right? And then we were grinding slowly through this position. We broke above it and held it. This is where I went long on NQ. Could I have taken mine off on NQ when we hit this known resistance up here? Sure. I thought we would actually grind against this and maybe break higher, right? This range. And then we would come back to this one the same way that we came back to this big strike. We kind of chopped around this and held it and then went here. NQ actually got its biggest pop of the day after the open on this move on ES. But we moved more freely in this box where the red was. But if you don't hold over it and you get some selling, market makers start selling as well. So this is only good positioning if you can stay over it, right? Because if they're only buying futures, if I go from here to here and I stay over this one, then over this one, that's more buying, I can move up a little quicker. But if I can't hold over that, I get sold back down into this place. And if I get sold under that, more than they're buying, then I get stuck under it. But the same thing now is that there's no one really to sell me down very far. And every time I come up here, they sell, but every time I fall, they cushion the blow. They buy the dips and they sell the rips. So it's going to be hard for me now to break out over this again unless somebody steps in and says, yes, you're going up there. But it's going to be hard for me to sell any lower than this because buying, right? You guys getting it now? But we are less likely to move anywhere very quickly at this rate. That's why I think the closer we grind and chop around here, the more we're going to finish up here as opposed to down on this one, right? So it still relies on the market. It still relies on other people doing something. And if they don't do enough of it, then the market maker behavior is what wins out, is more influential. And generally speaking, when there's not a lot of people participating in the market makers are just trading against themselves. If we just accelerated the clock to market close and said nobody else places a trade, given where we are right now, do you know where we finish? We finish right here or just under it. We will naturally get pulled up to that if we just accelerated the clock and said, give me market close right now. Nobody else gets to trade. I guarantee you by 3 p.m., if nobody else could trade, we would just get sucked up this direction. But if people push us around and market makers have to react the way we know they have to, same thing here. If we get sold under this strike, whoever market makers are sitting here doing anything, they're going to quit buying. They're going to have to start selling. But they can only sell this far before these market makers are sitting there going, yep, I'm going to buy you up. I'm going to buy some futures here. So we either get stuck down here or we just ping pong around. So the finish line for us is sitting right here in the blue. What is an attractive trade for you in this moment? Right? Like I said before, this little short idea that we talked about 20 minutes ago was probably it. Holy shit, guys. My bad, Christian. Holy hell, man. I spent so much time complaining on this stream, I did not realize I was coming up on his time. All right, I actually have to go now. So I feel bad for Christian, number one, who is able to stream today, who is traveling yesterday. He probably thinks I'm trying to go another hour. So I very much appreciate you guys sticking through me. That was a rough start, and I very much apologize for that. I think that's the only time that's ever happened on stream. Not a great thing to complain about. I totally understand that. It's a bad look, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me. It's not every day I give up 8 grand in profit on a stream live, and it's not a day where I make 5K live in the afternoon. It's generally a pretty dead period. So I appreciate you guys for sticking with me on that. And if you guys do want to get signed up for that group class, the registration is going to be open, and we'll get the invites out right up until the thing starts at 8 p.m. Central. So if you want to join us there, feel free. It won't be the last one, right? But if you can't make it tonight and you still want to participate, we'll get the recording out, and I'll just figure out how to announce the next one. It'll probably be in a month or two. But yeah, so what a day, guys. What a wild day. But I I hope this was informative in some way. But I look forward to seeing any of you guys tomorrow. See what we get now that Vixpiration's over and we work towards OPEX, and kind of see how things shake out. I do have to say, things were looking much different before Besant came out and announced pumping liquidity into the bond market and treasury yields. That was a huge curveball, and I guarantee you we did not get that move up today without that news. That was a huge thing nobody saw coming, and there will be long-term ramifications for that. They're dealing with the long end. Short-term bullish, long-term, that is not a bullish move at all, at least as midterms and stagflation is concerned. So really interested to see what happens now with oil and everything else. But in the interim, I think you'll probably see some stuff in the small caps and maybe some of the mega caps, hyperscalers and semis and stuff. That's just a huge curveball. So we'll see what that means and how much people hedge into September and October. How many people hold on to the positions they're already in. That's putting some risk into the market to the downside. They're generally doing that way far away, like sub 7,500 on SPX, for example. And here we are sitting 7,700. So you could easily make the argument for new all-time highs before we ever get down that direction. But people are buying insurance. But we just need to get through this week, through OPEX, see what they do, and see how things shake up into next week. And we'll look at that each day, right? We're zero-date traders. That's what I focus on. And that's where our edge is. So, yeah, again, sorry to you guys for having a meltdown at the start of stream. But now you guys know, I know Christian's talked about this. Trading live is one thing. Wanting to show you guys a live trade that I otherwise would not be in is a pressure in and of itself. So if I have a trade on, I want to make sure it's reflective of my strategy and something that I would take for myself as opposed to just showing you guys. And today I got caught in the mental game of I should be exiting here. Just hold for that extra bit so you can say that you got 150 points for the stream. Stream starts in 10 minutes, just hold on. And that literally cost me $8,000 today. So it's just one of those things I got to work through. I'm happy to trade live for you guys. That's why we're here to do it. But there's also the educational piece of, hey, here's mentally or psychology-wise why that was hard for me. Or that's a lesson and I should have learned it. And I wish I didn't have to learn it on stream. But that's something I've never had to deal with before. I've never been a live stream trader. I just take my trades and make my money and go off about my day. But I'm trying to get better about that. So I just want to be honest with you guys. Thankfully, it's complaining about a winner. You know, I made $5 grand, but I'm mad that I gave up $8 grand to make that $5 grand, if that makes sense. But there we go. Tomorrow is another day, and good luck with Christian the rest of the way. Again, you guys know my thoughts. We're either going to pin this number, probably this one down here if we sell too much more. But the least surprising thing would be a move back towards the 77.45 area into the close. So squiggly line will live for me on my chart, and then we'll do an end-of-day trade recap on Instagram or YouTube or something. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the group class tonight. And if you want to sign up, one last shout for that. I will just throw it in the chat. You guys can find me on Instagram, link in my bio. Whoever's asking about the Discord earlier, there you go. And then, yeah, the WAP's in the link in my bio, but I got to go. I'm rambling. All right, good luck, Christian. Happy you're able to stream again, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.
Yo, yo, yo. Chat. Let me see. Okay, there we go. How's everyone doing? What's up? Cool. We're live. Okay, let me get situated here. What's up? What's up, Vish? Elder, my guy. What's up, brother? What's up? What's up? What's up? Polar Bear doesn't like me. Man, I wouldn't be surprised if he pops in here in a bit. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Yo. Yo. Fucking, let me see. Where's charts? Meta, man. I was a little bummed down. I wasn't able to pop in on stream yesterday. But fucking crushed it on Meta. Crushed it on Meta. Which I talked about on Monday, which I was already in. Let me delete this. And we gapped down, we continued lower, and I closed around the 546, 47 area yesterday, right before my flight. And it was a good, in my opinion, good sell, given the nature of options. I sold at a gap down and morning dump, somewhere around this range. I sold. Didn't give up too much profit at the overall objective, which we reached today and we bounced off of. Talk about rake levels, right? Talk about rake levels. But I kind of wanted to break down. Again, I took a break on swinging, and I just got back into it basically like the last month, and I've been crushing the swings. So I kind of wanted to talk about what it is that I look for, and specifically on Meta and on SPY, right? On SPY, which I managed to catch a nice trade here off of somewhere around this range. All right, I caught this nice move. So I kind of wanted to talk about those two, and then what else? UPS is what I'm currently in now, right? UPS in puts, $100 puts expiring November or September 11th, sorry. So in about a month. And currently looking very, very good. If this daily close, how it's looking on UPS, this is looking very good. I've been kind of doing this little series on my Instagram stories, which is, I don't know what it is. I've been seeing UPS trucks everywhere. But I think it's just partially what comes with, I don't know, just seeing something in my mind, knowing I'm in UPS puts. But yeah, fun little series. I fucking slept in yesterday. Or last night, right? I slept in. I popped these melatonin gummies, and keep in mind, the last 3 nights, I haven't been sleeping at all, right? Before Seattle, I slept an hour. The night of Seattle, I slept 4 hours. I didn't sleep through the plane. And yeah, I slept. Probably if I were to do, because I woke up in the middle of the night, so I went to sleep at 8. I woke up around 1 a.m. and then I went to sleep like around 2:30 or 2-ish. Woke up around noon here in New York. So what is that? 10? I don't know, 14 hours or so that I slept. Partially me being sleep deprived, but also I think the gummies, bro. It's fucking. I've never had melatonin before. What'd I do? Yeah, I woke up fucking starving, chat. I woke up around, like I said, around noon, or sorry, midnight. And I had gotten some Whole Food snacks. I got watermelon chocolate, so I fucking unfortunately woke up my girlfriend to me chewing. What's up? What's up? Alex, you should yell at the UPS driver next time. Hell, I'm in UPS puts. Honestly, yeah, so let's get into it, chat. Let's get into it. So I'm in a position currently. I want to break down. Let's see. Do I break down? Yeah, overall, the market conditions are not that favorable, right? We are in a higher. Let's start there. We are in a higher time frame, right? We're a monthly gap that we delivered, weekly gap. So I'm bullish on the weekly, on the monthly, even on the daily, right? But if we zoom in on the 4 hour and 1 hour, we're just ranging. Ever since yesterday, essentially, we've kind of been ranging in this zone. There's no indication of us wanting to trade back higher. There's no displacement after taking out a low. We got divergence at the low. So for that reason, again, if you look at the hourly, there's no displacement to the upside. We're just kind of chopping, ranging, and that's to be expected after a higher time frame draw gets taken, right? We go from premium to discount. We sold off, took out Asia lows, traded higher, into premium of the range, came back lower into discount, and so we're just range trading. For that reason, I took a trade right before stream started, targeting just an internal unmitigated bearish fair value gap for about a 1R. And yeah, I'm not really looking to risk anything today given these market conditions, right? It yeah, I'm not really looking to risk much at all, is what I meant. So yeah, with that said, market conditions are a bit, honestly, today's one of those days where it'd be smart to be a little risk off given where we are. The hourly, again, just ranging. The 4 hour, just ranging. We're in a higher time frame area of interest for myself to look for longs, which again, I probably would be looking for longs here, if not today, maybe tomorrow or into Friday for SPX SPY calls, right? SPY calls, maybe some QQQ calls into all-time highs. But just understanding where we are, right? Understanding context. We took out premium of the range, right? The same level that I keep talking about time and time again, which was that 30,100 level. Why was that a target for longs, right? And I guess this will segment into, okay, so we were in OTE of the range, right? OTE of the range, quadruple top, right? After delivering from a weekly, monthly, fair value gap and a daily order block, displaced higher. As soon as we displaced higher, we just started trending higher, right? Took my SPY calls around this level into that overall higher time frame objective. At this point, we got divergence at the highs. Once we got there, I literally took QQQ puts in this level, right? Still remember the day. It was somewhere here. I took QQQ puts at that general level and sold them into open yesterday, I believe. Yeah, yesterday for about 100% gain, right? For looking for a rebalance type of trade, where into exactly the weekly fair value gap, right? The weekly fair value gap, understanding context, understanding that we're getting divergence between assets, right? We're getting divergence between assets. ES is at the high. NQ just took out premium. We need a pullback, right? We need a pullback to then, if we want to continue higher, to trade higher. That's kind of the trade idea behind those QQQ puts. So for that, once we get there for swinging, for those that do swing, I want to, at this specific time, right? Last week, I came into last week preparing for a pullback, at least into Wednesday, Thursday, perhaps, early in the week, getting some sort of consolidation / pullback bar. 1 second, chat. Let me put on a fucking hoodie. It's fucking cold. Fucking hot outside, but it's cold as hell in here. All right. So at this point, I'm looking for weak names, right? At this point, the last 2 weeks, we have been delivering higher, right? And at this current point, I'm looking for weak names. One of those weak names was Meta, right? The last 2 weeks, Meta. Okay. So the last 2 weeks, SPY and NQ, or sorry, ES and NQ were extremely bullish, right? Coming into how we were looking, right? I did my analysis on Friday of last week. I'm like, okay, we had this sort of failure to go higher past last week's bar, right? On top of that, we retraced into premium of the range, over 50%, tapped a bearish fair value gap, right? There's a key level at the 600 mark, which you can tell on the daily, right? Every time we tap into it, we reject or break through, right? Reject, breakthrough. And on the daily, we got this trend bar away from that level. Inside bar, failure of the inside bar. So at this point, we had a level at 580. And my game plan was essentially a break below 580 look to target 540, right? Meta has relative weakness against the market. It's been holding while the market has been pushing, meaning that once the market kind of starts essentially topping out, or if I anticipate the market topping out, Meta could potentially get a nice dump into the next level, which is where the trade idea happened. Again, I was contemplating getting an entry at this level, but kind of if I'm not in a position, kind of don't like swinging names over the weekend. So that's part of the reason why I kind of hesitated. So let's see. So I was in the plane when market opened, trying to execute, but again, I had I was trying to log in through Robinhood, right? And on my laptop, and I was getting text messages for a verification code on my phone, but I couldn't get the message because it was a text message, right? It wasn't an iMessage. So unfortunately, I had to wait till the plane landed, which it landed around here, which I took immediately, right? And let me see. Leave. So yeah, I took around here, landed around 8:30. At this current point, I thought it was valid, just given that start new. Given that at this point, NQ was essentially in a bearish hourly gap, and I wanted to see us trade lower, right? With that, I'm like, okay, this is still good despite me getting a little later of an entry. Or honestly, a later entry. The premiums had already moved about 100%. I thought it was valid, and the risk reward was still good enough for 540s, right? So leave. Where we at? Where we at? So yeah, market open. We gapped down. We traded lower. I was getting ready for my flight to leave. My risk to reward was skewed at this point, right? At this point, start new. I was targeting 540. I was up over 200% at this point. So I made the executive decision to just close the position for a very nice winner. Minimal effort. Honestly, the only effort that came about this was doing the research, right? Doing the overall, creating the game plan, and just sticking through it. Managed it appropriately, in my opinion. And that was that. So that I just covered the QQQ puts. The reason behind. Oh, okay. Also the QQQ puts. At this point, the level was I was targeting prior week low, which was a weekly gap entry, and decided to take the position here as well on the QQQs. Given honestly, I should have probably held, which we got to that objective. But again, I was boarding my flight, and I was already up over 100%. I was like, let me just lock these in and go about my day, right? So now fast forward to, so you just covered the QQQs. I was up 100%. Meta, I was up over, I forgot the number. It was for sure over 200, under 300%. Spy calls, I was up 500%. What else? That's it, I believe. So now I'm in UPS puts. UPS puts. So long we continue holding under 103. I'm liking this setup. Yeah, down into the 99 level and perhaps even that swing low. We'll see how we trade in the coming weeks. Ideally, would want this to play out in the next week. If not next week, then the week after. But yeah, the monthly's looking good, right? We just got a trigger on the monthly. The weekly, we broke out of the inside bar, so we'll see how we close this week. Ideally, hopefully, we close as a trend bar. The daily, we have strong support here at the daily at the 103 level. So yeah, if we close how we're looking and tomorrow's bar looks something like this, that would be ideal. But yeah, looking for UPS puts in the coming weeks. We'll see how that plays out. as far as what I'm looking for now, as far as swings, um, man, because again, I think it could be free game, man. Let me see. UPS. It was which oh yeah, it was Bitcoin, BTC, IBIT. Not too sure exactly how I wanna play this yet, but I just got my alert this morning. But if we look at the monthly, we've been delivering pretty bearish here on the monthly. Just looking at my position here. So I am in a long here on futures, targeting just the internal unmitigated bearish gap. So on the monthly here on Bitcoin, we are delivering bearish on every single fair value gap, bearish, bearish, and we're currently in that right now. So would be nice to look for shorts or puts on IBIT, meaning the ETF future or the ETF for Bitcoin, somewhere in this range, right? We just in a weekly bearish for value gap, took out swing highs, monthly bearish for value gap, daily fair value gap, right? So in this general zone, I'd want to see how we react off of this bearish gap, perhaps, right? So maybe set an alert down here. But yeah, IBIT. I've never traded these future or these options, so I'm kind of curious to see how we trade. But it's the ETF that tracks Bitcoin, right? So maybe get some 35 puts expiring maybe 2 months out or so. Yeah, I still have to do my work on this one. It was just an alert I had, so I have it on close watch now. And of course, UPS is what I'm currently in now. So UPS looks amazing. I should probably add Bitcoin here just to have it. And then again, Friday I have a flight to catch back home, and we'll be looking for potential setups for the following week. And again, same process, right? Same process as I did to look for shorts on Meta. Would be the same process I'd look for whatever other names I have in watch, right? One being the overall market. I am looking for longs on NQ on SPY QQQ, so long we hold a weekly gap entry. Okay. So enough yapping on that end. Let me go back to chat here. Let's see. Let's see. Your chart's frozen again? Yeah, it's frozen because of me. Wait, no. It shouldn't be frozen actually. What's up? What's up, chat? What's up? What's up? What's up? Damn, I missed hello chat. Hold on, hold on. Frozen? Fuck! No fucking way, chat. So you guys didn't fucking see a thing on my charts. Fucking. Let me see. I'm gonna have chat popped up on the side here. It was just on my laptop, but so why are my charts fucking frozen here? So, stuck on an. Yeah, no, I see that on my end over here. Huh? Chart window capture trading view. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck it would do that. You know, it's frozen too. Settings. Sorry, chat. 1 second. I'm trying to fix that here now. Okay. Okay, that should have fixed it. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck it would do that. You know, good now. Chat's still frozen. No, the chart I think should be fine now. Let me see. Yeah, chart should be good now, I think. All right. Yeah, chart is good. That's just the original lag I have. Whatever screen I'm on, the other one will lag. So piano is probably lagging right now because I'm not on it. Okay. So for damn, yeah. So I just yapped for nothing essentially. Did you guys catch any of what I was watching, or catch anything of what I was saying essentially? Or no? Do I have to repeat myself is basically what I'm asking. Or did you guys get a good gist of it? We heard you. It's chilling, Unk. Your sound was good, just as the chart was off. Okay. Basically, long story short, meta. Yeah, I feel like I'm hold on, chat. All right, just cut TP here. TP on this trade that I was in. And again, the reason I'm not targeting the overall highs is just giving context. I'm not highly convicted on price. So I took this 101 as a trade here. Why this level? It was premium. Sorry, it was the unmitigated bearish gap here on the 15-minute in discount of this range after hitting premium of this range. So we're just trading very internally. And when we're trading very internally, I don't want to be aiming for home run type of plays. I just want to, you know, hit base hits and call it a session, right? Fuck, although I might be regretting this. Might be regretting this, man. Yeah, it was about a 101. The way you can manage this is either go break even at that point, either go break even, or take the full go break even there, right? And look to target external range, or take the full target at that level. That's the only two ways of managing this position, just given overall context, right? So again, sorry chat, sorry I was a little bit laggy. I should have had chat opened. So 1 for 1 so far on futures. Again, meta, fuck, I'm gonna do a quick brief. It won't be more than 3 minutes, more than 2 minutes. Meta overall weakness on the weekly last week, right? Was looking for a break below last week's bar, looking to target 540, which I did. The rake levels are leveling like always, right? Took my profits somewhere at that 548 level yesterday, just given dynamic R, right? Caught that for over 200%, and in UPS puts currently, right? Still currently in UPS puts, loving it under 103 still, so long we hold under 103. And again, SPY and QQQ, SPY puts, or sorry, QQQ puts at this level, right? Took them last week on Thursday, I believe, and got rid of them yesterday for about 100% gain. And what I was mentioning was basically like this. At this current point, if I'm anticipating the market to pull back, right, what I'm looking for is for a name that has been downtrending, and during that downtrend is simply holding. While the market has been pushing higher. So during this consolidation phase on Meta, the market did this. So at this level, if the market hits a level of interest for me that I'm anticipating a pullback, I'm not anticipating a market structure shift, just a pullback. What do you think names like Meta are going to do? They're simply going to dump, right? They're going to dump because now they have the market in favor of the trade, right? So NQ decided to rip. Fuck, I don't even want to check it right now. Let me see. So yeah, that was the trade idea behind Meta. And the same thing is what I'm looking for on the coming weeks. Like I mentioned, names that I have on watch are in UPS puts currently, but also Bitcoin. Bitcoin would trade the ETF, which is IBIT, right? IBIT. Again, this is all just a quick summary because my charts weren't loading. But again, monthly bearish gap. And again, I apologize for not keeping up with chat here, but delivering bearish on every single gap. Bearish gap here, monthly, bearish gap there, monthly. And then we have a bearish gap here on the monthly, right? That we're currently inside. We're also inside a bearish weekly gap and a bearish daily gap. We're almost at premium of the range. So again, like I mentioned, I want to see more indications that price actually does want to trade lower and would look to target somewhere around the 60,000 level. Why that 60,000 is because, or sorry, not the 60,000, around the 50,000. So yeah, I still got to do my work, like I said, on what contracts, what expiration, so on and so forth. The alert just went off today. So something I have on watch, again, would look to take it on IBIT. So yeah, back to market chat. Sorry about that. Again, apologize. But yeah, this is the reason why I go for lower hanging fruits on market conditions like such, right? Because we're just gonna fucking bullshit all session. And I didn't want to be caught on that. Understanding context is huge. It's important. And just base hits. Today is one of those sessions where base hits is all I'm looking for. And yeah, now we're delivering bearish on the 1 minute, rejecting the 15-minute bearish gap, looking to probably trade down into the low again, and just so on and so forth, right? That's all I really had high conviction on, given the hourly, how the hourly time frame is. Again, we're in a higher time frame area of interest, and the intermediate time frames for me are the 4 hour, 1 hour. We're just stuck in this range, right? Stuck in this range, not really going anywhere. That tells me that price has no eagerness to move higher on the intermediate time frame. So on the smaller time frames, the 5 and the 15 minute, you have to be very scout mode, if that makes sense. In more of a picture, guys. Thought you were freestyling, brother. Makes sense, just base hits. Nice pop up. NQ decided to rip. It hasn't gone anywhere. Primo running in, came to an appointment. My guy, Alex, what's up, brother? Alex, bro, you've been crushing it, my guy. Great TP, fuck yeah. Yeah, fucking a little weird morning here in New York. I'm not gonna lie, chat. Weird morning. Why? Damn, we're dumping now. Fire TP. Fire TP 101. And now just holding in there. What I did notice, sorry, not would, is that ES is still rejecting bearish order flow, right? Rejecting bearish gaps. We have a bit bullish gap here down below us, so we'll see how that reacts. Down here. We'll see how that reacts. We'll see if we continue holding that 15-minute bullish gap. Yeah, for now on sidelines, I want to see how we trade off this level. Right? We have a 5-minute change in state down here. Right? For the, change in state of delivery. We have OT right below it, so we'll see how we trade off this general area. Let's see. The weather's good, bro. Like I said, all I have done is walked outside and got myself a cup of coffee. That's all I've done today. I'm not even joking, chat. Like, when I'm telling you I slept a lot, I've slept, I don't know how this is possible, but I literally slept like 15 hours. No, Polar Bear, I'm in New York right now. New York. Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City? Yeah, Costa Rica. I'll be there next Friday. Yes, sir. Damn, I still got bad hair. Mr. Worldwide. Nah, just in Costa Rica should be the last. Actually, I take that back. It shouldn't be the last place I go to, but for at least a month, I'll stay home for at least a month, and I think I made my mind up on that. I want to gauge demand on. I get a handful of DMs on mentorship and one-on-ones and stuff like that. So during that time, I do want to put my focus on getting that up and running. Before I think, we'll see where time lies, but it is my brother's 21st birthday in October, so I kind of want to do something for him then. Maybe, I don't know, maybe go to Vegas or something. Just a quick little trip. But then other than that, want to stay pretty locked in for the rest of the year. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's his 21st birthday. I want to take him gambling. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do, but let's go to Vegas. Meet up in Vegas or what? How degenerate is that? Fucking just imagine a meetup in Vegas where we all sit down at a blackjack table and just gamble. That'd either be the best meetup or the worst meetup. Best meetup if we rinse the dealer, but if we get rinsed, then McDonald's it is. We'll play blackjack in trading terms. Brother, yeah, I remember me and it's funny enough, me and Alex, we would go to casinos, and we would go to casinos and try to count cards. Brother, I was sitting there with my fingers underneath my laps underneath the table, fucking keeping count. Looking back, bro, fuck. It's funny because the first time we ever did it, we were counting cards and we were there for like an hour. And in my head, the count never went to positive. It was always like -4, -5, -3, -2. And for those who don't know, I mean, I know the basics. I'm not no fucking card counter, but for those that know the basics, you want to be betting bigger when the count is higher and you're dealt a good hand, right? So ideally in the +2, +3, +4s, right? And an hour went by, and bro taps my shoulder. He's like, bro, is the count always negative for you? I was like, bro, hell yeah. I thought I was tripping. I thought I was doing it wrong. But I mean, shit, for all we know, we both were doing it wrong, right? But, fuck, good times, man. It's just funny. We walked out of there laughing. We're like, yeah, this shit, it's either this shit's the most rigged casino we've been to, or we are doing this shit the completely wrong way, which I doubt. I think we had a pretty good grasp on how to do it, but yeah, long story short, meet up in Vegas would be sick. But then again, it wouldn't. I don't know. Just yapping. Just yapping. Yeah, this. I think that yeah, this is really, the 4 hours really rangy. The hourly is really rangy. 15-minute. All that I really like here is the 15-minute, to be honest. And anything you take here in today's session would, in my opinion, be very low probability, just given overall context. Chat, isn't it crazy? My Alex, I've been set for, damn. I slept 15 hours, but I can't speak. He's been taking every single take I've taken on swing accounts. He started with essentially $400. Those $400 has turned him, made him over $5,000 now in the last what is it, 15 trading days, which is fucking crazy if you think about it. It started with a SPY call that was worth 400 and something bucks, which is fucking absurd, right? Fucking crazy. That wasn't the goal, but it just happened to play out to where market conditions are aligning, names are aligning, and it's been good. Yeah, literally all my swings have been 100% hit rate, which is fucking crazy. $400, chat. $400 made them $2,300 or $2,400 on those SPY calls, and then Meta puts made him another 2,200, or sorry, 1,700 plus what he had in the account, and then he was in QQQ. He was in heavier in QQQ puts, but he sold before the sell-off on Wednesday, which would have put him over $6,000. Less than a month. I made sure to tell him to withdraw the whole thing. So in the account, I think he should only have about 1,000. You trade options on Bit? Never traded them, but the setup on Bitcoin is pretty valid. So if I do take them, it would be on Bit. Nice. You only swing trade stocks or just options? I just had the thought last night to swing stocks to avoid theta. No, for me it's just options. It's the risk just makes sense, right? In order to get the same return, in order for me to make for example, Alex took the Meta puts. He only put up, I believe, $600, $700, something like that. $600, let's call it. And return overnight, he made about $1,800. Right, with $600, he was able to make about $1,800. Doing that with stocks, right, for the same move, isn't really. Like, sure, the risk to reward is a lot. The risk is a lot less with equities, but the return is also less. But you also got to know what strike price to pick, and the strike price, but also the expiration, right? So at this current time, I got the 570 puts, meaning that at the point of expiration by Friday, I want to see us below 570, way below 570. And I want to see us at the target way before the expiration. So given how we were, right, meaning that at this point, SPY was topping out and Meta was just dumping, I thought we could do that by this Friday. And also looking at history, every time we drop below 600, we just dump into 540. We break above 540, we push above 540 in less than a week. Over 540, we push 2 days, right? Below 600 with the heavy market, was anticipating us getting there in essentially like an overnight type of trade, which is exactly what we did. And at that point, it was way below the strike price, which is 570. Something more like UPS, however, I bought myself 4 weeks out because of how slow it moves and the type of setup I was looking for and the type of move, right? The target would be more on the 94 level, and I got 100 expiration, right? 100 strike price. Sorry, not expiration. 100 strike price. But yeah, it's all contingent upon the time, the type of move you're waiting for, and but yeah. Long story short, I've never swung, or actually, I take that back. I did so in not this April, but last April, which was which I didn't really like the return. I'd rather buy a year. I'd rather buy leaps. I caught some shares down here in April, which on these I made a decent return, but nothing crazy on SPY calls, or sorry, SPY shares. Can you go over your option strategy for these swing plays? Yeah. I think maybe perhaps like a weekends type of session would be nice for swings. Something like a little bit more hands-on with chat, meaning like just strictly on swing. Maybe actually that's a very good idea. Maybe not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. Shit, I'll be in Costa Rica. I'll be just landing in Costa Rica. Let me think. Yeah, I actually like this, RJV. A detailed, specific session for just scanning through names, what I look for, and creating a game plan around it with you guys. That would be kind of that'd be nice. Actually, I really like it, because usually I come up with like, say, anywhere from like 1 to 3 names that I like for the week, and go about it that way. Yeah, the risk to reward is amazing with options if you know how to play them right. And you got to understand market conditions too. You can't just be trading options with a market that isn't moving, right? Because then you're just going to get fucking ate up, right? Yeah, I'll go over quickly what I look for here in a bit, but yeah, I think a very specific stream on just strictly how it sounds very like guru-like, but how my bro turned 400 into damn near 6,000 in less than 15 days would be nice. I'm not saying that's exactly what's to expect from swinging options. I think options are it's a tool and an instrument that if you use it properly, the returns can be amazing, but then vice versa. The higher the return, the greater the downside. Just keeping that in mind. Adrian, my dog. What's up, Adrian? What's up? What's up? We'll see if we can hold this general area. This general area here, and the market can start getting, and then ES can tap into the 4-hour gap entry, which is at 7726.5. That would be about the only thing I'd be interested in here. Really. I just took a trade here earlier in stream, which was a 101R. Again, just simply looking at compound. Compound, 15 minute. That 15 minutes looking very nice. It's closing very, very nice here. We just tapped into the hourly rejection block after getting divergence at the low, so that could be the start of a potential flip here, especially if the 15-minute can close very how it's essentially looking to close. So we'll see. For this, for me to look to take anything, I would want to see again a change in state here on the 5-minute, or a market structure shift, something like this. Speed. That would give me conviction that price actually wants to go and take out the internal high here. Otherwise, if we just stagnate and range in this level, I got the only real high probability, or even not even high probability, the only conviction trade I could have gotten was in this range. So for now, waiting, 1 for 1. 1 for 1 so far. There we go. Just for those tuning in. Just sparking after a banger AM session. Had to come tune in and support my guy, Adrian. Appreciate you, my guy. Oh. I don't know why I thought you were fucking burning it. Sparking as a grocery, not a blood. Oh, yeah, right. I was like, that sounds like fun, bro. Bro's just chilling, probably in his patio. Sparking one, listening to the channel. Wifey disturbing you? No? Were you in the background? No. No, I think, is there like bangings in the background? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, because if it's banging, it's next door. I think they're doing some, I don't know what they're doing. Chat, I don't know what it is, but been listening to a lot of new music lately. Wait, is the music playing here right now? Yeah, it is. Yeah, the setup here for the upside, I guess, while we're waiting, would look nice if we get displacement on the hourly. We get displacement on the hourly, and we get a pullback of some sort into an hourly gap or something, 4-hour gap. A swing, a couple, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks out for sure, into all-time highs would be nice. I am bullish on the higher time frames. So again, like I mentioned last week I went into puts with the idea of expecting something like such into the weekly gap entry, right? After that, I literally mentioned this to the tick. I said by Wednesday, I would love to see us retrace, and then later in the week, see if we can perhaps start getting a change in state to then trade higher, right? Literally exactly what I walked you guys through last week, which is exactly still the same game plan, right? So depending on how we close, right? How we close, and how the hourly and 4 hours start behaving in this general zone, I would look to start building a position for the upside. Let's see, 15 minutes looking good here. Minutes. Looking for a buy at 29,450. 29,450. 450. Fire. Yeah, for me, literally just waiting. I want to see us kind of hold this general zone. I like the 500 area, 29,500, and look for displacement higher. Look for displacement higher there. What's Tesla doing right now? Tesla has a very key level here at the 350 mark, which would be interesting to see how we react. Man, talk about Jake's or Rake's levels, right? On individual names, I love them. Took a trade off the 580. Target 540. Daily. So we're pushing higher here. Let's see. Yeah, that 15-minute bar closed very bullish here. Let's see what we get. Daily open. We got the new day opening gap around this area. Man, that new day opening gap has been respected very nicely here on the 5-minute. Bounce, reject, break, retest, break, retest, break, retest, flush through, retest, break over, retest, reject. We'll see if we can break over now. Standard deviation. Yeah, the draw for me is 667. 667, chat. 667. Still waiting though. I want to see a little bit more from price here. We need to see price action actually develop. You see price action develop on the smaller time frames, 5 and 15 minute. Here we would be getting a change in state. So let's see how we react there. So for me, I like to keep charts very clean. So far we're one for one. So we are rejecting off my area. I guess we don't necessarily need that anymore. Delete that. Keeps charts nice and clean here. We have that. We have a bearish gap above us that we would want to invert. Yeah, we're getting a nice displacement move with speed here. Now let's see if we can actually hold. Have this breaker down here on the 1 minute. Breaker, a 5-minute gap entry here. Again, I would love to see a gap entry here on the 4-hour. Yeah, I want to see us trade down into the 4-hour gap entry here. Otherwise, I'm not really looking to take anything just yet. Let's see, let's see, let's see. 6-7. What's good, Lomeli? Don't blink, my guy. What's up, brother? What's up, big guy? Good, right, guy? Literally slept 15 hours today in New York. Haven't done shit other than wake up and go pick myself a coffee. So again, still rejecting that general area here. I think we see lower before higher, if I'm being honest. Yeah, the risk reward isn't even that great. Yeah, I'm wait it off. I'm not too confident trading against this 4-hour gap not being taken just yet. But let's go ahead and wait for that. I want to see the 772650 level on ES get taken beforehand. We're still rejecting this order block here very nicely for the last 4 times 3, the last 12 hours of market open, or sorry, of the market in general, which I believe is also the new day opening gap. Right now, currently delivering, rejecting this hourly bearish order block. 15-minute tapped into a bearish 15-minute gap still. So I think this could be an area where a lot of traders are getting trapped. We'll see how we react here. If ES can go down, take out that level, and NQ can simply just hold, which is going to be a tough ask from the market, but if that can happen, I would be looking for upside here. For those, yeah, I mean, this is good, just that the risk reward isn't that great at all. I mean, if you're looking to target lower, then sure, but it's not that great. So now, there you go. Looking for that to get respected, that 1-minute order block, which we already kind of did, right? On that last 1-minute bar. Yeah, in the short term here, I'm looking for a downside, a rebalance back into the 7726 level. Still rejecting 15-minute fair value gap. 5-minute gap entry here. If I was short, I would be going break even at that level. Yeah, the only thing here is, let me see. Yeah, there's conflicting biases because the higher time frames I am bullish. And the intermediate time frames I want to see a rebalance back into the range into the 7726. So it becomes a little tricky. I mean, we are delivering bearish overall though on the 4-hour. Even 1 hour, we're still delivering bearish. 15 minutes still rejecting this bearish gap here. 5-minute. Let's see. Did we trade into equilibrium? Yeah, we did trade into equilibrium here. Boom. Delete that. Now let's see if we can hold this. If we can hold this order block. Let's see. Just enter longs, fuck it. No, I'm waiting for, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the low here once again. But if we want to continue higher, we should do so from this area. Otherwise, again, you take that as a sign. $15-minute here, closing the next 4 minutes. 15 minutes. The hourly closes in the next 20 or so minutes. $22. Having a good time in Chai. I'm currently in New York. I left Chicago. We just got internal divergence there. Yeah, it's a very sloppy internal day, chat, so just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So we're at OT of this 1 minute bar here. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Five-minute close in the next 30 seconds or so. Again, this would be more of a rebalance type of trade. Rebalance down into the 4-hour gap entry here on ES. But of course, we'd be taking it on NQ here. That idea goes out the window if we trade above this purple box, which is the 1 minute order block. Okay, I'm trying that. Fuck it. 570. Stop around the 570s. There it is, targeting the lows with the idea that we get a rebalance on ES down into the 77260 level. Or sorry, 77226 level. Let's see. This is more of a, this is about a 3-hour trade here. I would go break even as soon as we get to the 524 level. We just tested the 15-minute change in state, essentially. Again, we're trading very internally, so this is more of a smaller time frame type of trade, and I'm aware of that. But let's see. Ideally, we'd want to see us, yeah, displace past the swing low here. A good displacement past that swing low, and go and break even pretty quickly if that can happen. I'm currently in shorts. How was Chicago, bro? It was, bro. Yeah, I love Chicago. Chicago was good. I think I overate on the pizza for sure. Literally had pizza every night. But it was good though, regardless. Just got back from Panama. How was that? Panama, huh? Panama is Central America, or? It is, right? I see the vision. Took a little long slap and exited here at the top for green minute candle. If it breaks the candle, I'm with you on the short. Fuck yeah. Again, chat, understand market conditions today. That's all I would say. If we look at the hourly, this is very internal. Whoops. Very internal type of action. So just keep that in mind and be cautious. That's all I would say. Just be cautious. My Central America actually was a lot cooler than I thought. Vasco Viejo is where we stayed. Very walkable, kind of reminds me of San Juan PR. Huh, okay. Fire. Panama. Let me see. Let's see. Where's Panama? Where's Panama? Where's my search? Oh yeah, it's right below Costa Rica. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's probably a similar vibe, right? You had like your beachy vibes and then your tropical vibes, right? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's fire. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Cheap, quick, cheap flight and stay from Miami. Fuck yeah, that's amazing, brother. How long were you there for? I think you were there for a minute, right? If I remember correctly, you mentioned it a while ago. It's 11:50 right now. Quick trip, 4 nights, 5 days. Fuck yeah. That's amazing, brother. Yeah, that's amazing. How'd you like San Juan? San Juan, was it better than Panama or no? Yeah, Puerto Rico's I want to go to there. I want to go to Puerto Rico soon. Probably early next year is the plan. We'll see though. We shall see. Okay, we just took out that internal low here. Took that out. That should be about 1-to-1. That should be about 1-to-1. It's your call whether you want to lock it in there, but I am looking for the rebalance back into the lows essentially. Would probably go break even. At a good, if we get a good displacement past that lows, I would look to go break even. Definitely not the reaction I want to see here. What? Let's see. Let's wait. Holding runners and break even now. Yeah, that's fair. That's good. That's fair. Probably what I should have done, to be honest with you. Your entry was 560. Oh, yeah, you got a dope entry. You got a pretty good entry. Dang it, Norpus. Man, let me get some water, chat. 1 second. Let me get some water real quick. Never mind. It was right next to me. Water was right next to me. Take that back. Take that back, chat. Fuck, why am I cold, man? It's cold in here, right? It's 60 degrees in here. How's that even possible? Yeah, put it to like 68 maybe. All right, 70 is cool, yeah. It's fucking freezing in here, man. No, I love sleeping in a cold environment, but man, during the day it's fucking freezing. I'm a girl. Got you. Sorry about that. El Yonke Forest and PR is also dope, but if you like hiking and waterfall slides, but if it was a bit intense for my girlfriend to climb some. Man, that sounds like fun. I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna screenshot this actually. Yeah, world is so fun. The world is huge. World is fucking huge, man. So many places to visit, so many places to live. So yeah, world is huge. Nice. A good closure past like the 530 area, 525-ish on the 1 minute, and I'm going break even. Jen, we already caught a 1 hour trade in the, or I did at least. I caught this one into that swing high for a winner. Now let's see if we can catch another one in these shitty market conditions. Although part of me wants to book it. Part of me wants to book it just given, I mean, shit, look, if you guys look at the hourly, does that look very probable? Not really. Let's see, where's the equilibrium of this 5 minute gap here? Nice. Honestly, going break even here wouldn't be a bad idea either. Yeah, I'm break even on this one, chat. We just tapped equilibrium of the 5 minute gap, meaning if that rebalances, I would want to be out of that. But if we continue, we shouldn't come back up to the entry point at around 550. So I'm break even now, chat. I'm break even exactly at 550 on MNQ, which that's exactly what I don't want to see. Yeah, if that 5 minute bar goes to green, I don't want to be in this. So just take me out. At that point, I was going for a better R to R, right? But at that point, you 1 R, not the worst, not the greatest, right? But I am going for a better R to R here. So best case scenario for today, chat, I'm up 1 R. on this trade. Worst case scenario, or sorry, worst case scenario, I'm up 1R. Best case scenario, I am up for the session about a little bit under 5R. So right around 4R. So that's amazing risk management, if you ask me. Let's see though. Let's see. You could drop by and see Jake where, in Puerto Rico or in New York? We just rejected the 5-minute order block here. Let's see if we can continue, if we can dump after this. All right, I probably got taken out here.
Stop filled.
Okay, took that at break even, chat. Took it at break even. Probably shouldn't have given conditions. We're very rangy, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Yeah, just giving conditions, meaning that we can probably, this isn't fluid at all, so doing this just to go lower is possible. Keep that in mind. But yeah, today's one of those sessions where it's just locking in a win is good in my opinion. Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see TP hit, to be honest. Fucking bitch. Live trading not for the faint of hearts. My guy Mitch, I saw you kind of talking about it towards the end of stream, and I agree. I agree, brother. It's one of those things that getting used to is I don't know, to put it simpler, and it's definitely takes some getting used to. And even while we're doing it, the drawdowns are much more amplified. The drawdowns are much more amplified, and then I guess so are the wins, but the wins don't even feel, they just feel like part of the game. And then once you, I don't know, it's definitely getting used to a lot. There's a lot of psychological barriers that come with it, and yeah, I'm with you, brother. Like in this specific trade, for example, more than likely, if I wasn't streaming, I probably wouldn't have gone break even. And who knows, maybe it does hit TV, right? It's those things that you just don't know really what you would have done, other than like once I close the stream, come back, review. And yeah, I guess part of the review process now for stream is would I have done that outside of stream, which I'm with you, brother. Yeah, honestly, I think I got ticked out of that just for the market to ticked out at break even, just for the market to dump. Again, my draw is still lower. And yeah, let's see where we go. Do you have an opinion of where you think the market wants to go for OPEX? I think from here on forward, I'm literally just waiting for price to develop and give me conviction on the upside. So if I were to pick a direction, it's to the upside. But price isn't really confirming that here on the 4 hour, 1 hour. So I'm not going to be too in a rush to put on a trade to the upside, right? I'm just going to be more reactionary and waiting for the hourly 4 hour to kind of tell me it wants to do so, right? So if I were to pick a side, for sure to the upside. Intraday though, however, I would want to see lower prices into that 7726 level, which is a 4 hour bearish or bullish gap entry. 15-minute still rejecting the 15-minute gap. 5-minute rejecting the 5-minute order block. So it's honestly, chat, kind of regret going break even. I'm not gonna lie, I really do. Because even then, like, yeah, kind of do. Get back in, brother. The risk reward is now skewed though, because I would be getting in down here for a 1-to-1 essentially, where I was in for a 3-to-1. So 1-to-1, 3-to-1, right? I could get back in, but now if this becomes a loser, I'm gonna be fucking mad. If this 1-to-1 turns into a loser after going break even on a 1-to-3 trade, then it would get me pretty upset here. But I mean, man, this is tough. 550, and even if we were to come back up, I wouldn't. Yeah, this is tough. I'm not gonna lie. There's, what is there, 20 minutes left on stream. 20 minutes left. Considering did you put the heater on? You did put the heater on. It's literally warm air is coming to my face. Now I'm sweating. I don't know, back where it was. It's fucking hot now. I'm considering re-stabbing if we get a push past where my entry was, honestly, just to get back in this trade as it is looking good still. Risk it for the biscuit, just as chat says so, right? It is hot, I'm telling you. Okay, I re-entered basically in the same spot with the same stop. Let's see if I regret this or not. Re-entered right around the same spot, same stop, 570. So it's like I never went break even essentially. Let's see. $570. Let me set my TP here actually. But yeah, I'm back in. It's good, Lomeli. You in a trade? Yes, I was in a trade that ticked me out. I went in here at 11:45 my time, or Cali time, which would be 2:45 Eastern. Got ticked out for break even, but now re-entered basically same trade. Target lower, stops at 570. Which now, because I went back in, is gonna take me out. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Stop is at 570 on MNQ. We'll see. We shall see. How's a 5-minute looking? One thing I realized about this whole week is that I need an extra minimum 2 monitors. Does anyone know of any good monitors for MacBooks? I want one of those that are kind of you slip them on and you have 2, I guess, little screens on the side. If anyone knows of any good ones, let me know. I had some a while ago, but the quality on them were fucking trash. You have those? Out for work and they're a life changer. Please, please, please send me a link if you can, or just send the link here. Either send me the link on Instagram, would be highly appreciated. I would highly appreciate it, or send the link here, whatever you please. A link on Instagram would probably be better. I'm gonna do some, I'm gonna look into them today. That way I have them ready for Costa Rica. Appreciate you, SC. Appreciate you. Bro, get 2 48-inch curved Odyssey. They're so cheap. 48-inch curved. I'm talking about for traveling. I want something a little bit more compact. You use the XE Beck tri-screen. Fire. I'm assuming they're these, right? Let's see what price can give us here, chat. We didn't today. What me and you are gonna do is go get a charger. We have one charger, chat. The one charger that we have. My phone is about to die. I'm about to leave my hotel, and yeah, so I'm using her charger for the mic because I forgot my fucking mic plug. Thankfully, I brought the mic, but not the mic plug. Now my phone's gonna die. I have to leave. I want to charge this as well. Oh, actually, I have the plug-in for this. You know, I just made a discovery here on chat, on stream. Okay. This is why I love you guys, man. Nothing. You guys did nothing but Came up with a solution here. Fire. Okay, let me see if this even works. Oh yeah, fire. Fire, chat. Phone is plugged in. Mic is plugged in. There we go. Let's see where we go and where we end up here towards the later end of stream here. No, I was just gonna place it here and do a little just for the no, just a small clip for the video, I guess. This price action is giving me anxiety. I'm not even in a trade, brother. Same. I went break even on this second trade, and I re-entered just because I did see us trading back down into TP before getting stopped out. So let's see what we can get here. Again, looking at the intermediate timeframes here, the hourly, the 4 hour, we're really not really going anywhere much or ranging. So understanding that is very, very important, right? You can't be looking for continuation type of setups here. You kind of have to be fading the extremes, which is kind of essentially what I'm doing here. $12.17 or $3.17. Chat, who's from New York? Who's from New York, chat? Anyone from New York? Or anyone lives in New York? What spot was it? Actually, I probably shouldn't say. Meat. Fire. Any good food spots here in Moose? Moderna mRNA. Holy shit, mRNAs. What the fuck? mRNA is pumping. Is there a reason, chat? Holy shit. Imagine catching calls. Holy shit. What the fuck? Cancer vaccines, really? Are there preventative vaccines or for those who do have cancer? I'm assuming vaccines are preventative shots, right? So they're... Yeah, right? It's a melanoma? Melanoma? Ah, I see. No, it's an mRNA vaccine. It will give you cancer, just that, not it. Personalized treatment. Adjusted for each patient. Huh, that's interesting. Shit, chat. Hopefully they get to. It's one of those things that, I mean, it's a touchy subject for me, given my experience with a family member getting that, right? Getting cancer. But it's one of those things where if they do come out with something, I don't know, it would be game changer for literally the human population, right? Yeah, good for them. Hopefully they can work on it. It's long overdue, chat. All right, probably got taken out here. Stop filled. Got taken out there, chat. Do I regret re-entering now? Kind of. But it is what it is. Took a stab here long for about a 1 hour. And took a stab here short for about a 1 hour. So not the greatest session, not the worst session. Basically break even. Basically break even. And these conditions are not helping. Which honestly, for these sort of conditions, I'm very content with. Fucking bitch. Of course it would. Of course it would. Of course it would. Of course it would. Chat, did we re-stab? Do we re-stab? If I do, I would have a wider stop. No, we're going to play it cool and just relax. Just relax. This is my area of interest for lower. So we went up to tap it again. So technically, we're still not wrong for shorts, right? $15-minute, 5-minute. Let's see. Let's see how we react here. There's 5 minutes left of stream and on that 5-minute bar.
Order filled.
We'll take a stab here with the wider stop. Stop at 595. Targeting the same low. We'll see if we even get there, but yeah. All right, let me see. We the last take for the session here. Let's see. Let's open up chat again. When are you gonna be back at your own crib? I'll be back on Friday. This Friday. I'll be back for a week and then Costa Rica it is. Or actually, chat, I'm tripping. I'll be, yeah, I still have one more stop. My girlfriend just reminded me. So I have one more stop before getting home after New York. Yeah, this is just ugly action. Someone's sorry, chat. 1 second. Sorry, chat. Yeah, trade is playing out here. Sorry, we're trying to. Hold on a sec. 1 second, chat. Let me figure this out. Fuck. Mute. Sorry. I said that I have to get off of here now. Got to take care of some personal things. Got a phone call to make. But again, stop is at 595, targeting the low of day. But yeah, I was planning on staying here for a little bit more, but I got a phone call to make real quick and get things situated. So that's it for me, chat. Stay tuned for Ron coming up, then Azeng, then Jake, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's it for me, chat. Sounds good. See you guys later.